Hey, this is Pakulski again, and welcome to the Mi40 University. I'm here to teach you guys the essentials of pre-workout nutrition and also situational pre-workout nutrition. I'll also give you a little bit of an insight into actually what I take pre-workout. Here's my stack. If you want to learn what it is, you got to stick around and I'll teach you about each ingredient. Pre-workout nutrition is often really situationally specific depending on what you lack, what your goals are, and what your current settings are. So when I say situationally specific, sometimes we need additional water, sometimes we need energy, sometimes we need pump. So there's so many different things we could need pre-workout. It's really about taking inventory about where you are right now and what you're trying to accomplish. So if I'm trying to gain muscle, Mi40 University is all about muscle gain. So we're going to talk specifically about gaining muscle. I want to do everything in my power to build muscle, and that workout is really important in making sure we optimize growth and don't allow any breakdown, because as we all know, workouts are actually catabolic, so we don't want to be breaking down muscle. We want to make sure we give our body everything we need to grow and to volumize the cells so that it encourages growth. Cell swelling is extremely highly correlated with growth, so the more we can make those muscles volumize and make them swell, the more likely it is we're actually going to elicit the growth process. So as well as taking essential amino acids during the workout, we want to make sure we're taking things that help our bodies to swell. So we're going to get into my stack for today. I've got 5 things that I take right here, and this one here is actually sometimes situationally specific, and I'm going to tell you about that. So we'll start at this end, and I take an essential amino acid matrix. It's a great product by SciTech that's basically just essential amino acids. So sometimes in our daily life, we lack certain amino acids. So sometimes the ratios, depending on if we eat a lot of one type of protein, not a lot of another type of protein, sometimes the ratio of amino acids can be a little bit off, and we may be lacking in certain amino acids and really have an abundance of other ones. So by taking an essential amino acid supplement, you're making sure you have the full spectrum of amino acids that your body requires for optimal function. So some amino acids are involved in nitrogen retention, some are involved in detoxing, everyone has a different function. Some are involved in improving insulin sensitivity, some are involved in adrenal function, thyroid function. There's so many different functions, and everyone has a different benefit. So taking a balanced essential amino acid supplement pre-workout allows me to ensure that my body's kind of doing everything I want it to do. If I'm lacking something, what if one of my processes is shut down? And that's just not a good idea, right? What if something is missing? It's not optimal. So that's step number 1, is essential amino acids. And as far as dosage, depending on your body size, usually anywhere between 6 and 15 grams. I'm on the higher end of that because I'm obviously a bigger person. And 6 grams would be the lower end of that, and 15 grams is about as much as you'll ever have to take. So that's supplement number 1. Moving on to supplement number 2. You've all heard me say this one before, BCAAs. Branched chain amino acids, massively important for preventing muscle breakdown, and that's really the biggest thing in workouts, right? If we're training really hard, which you should be if you're trying to build muscle. Your body's going to be breaking down, your tissues are going to be breaking down, you're going to be catabolic. No shadow of a doubt, it's absolutely guaranteed to happen. So branched chain amino acids can actually negate some of that breakdown. So the way the analogy I use, the way I describe it, is either you're digging a hole or you're going to dig a trench. And you want to avoid digging a trench a lot of the time in a workout, right? It's okay to dig a little hole. So after we train, we can put in some nutrients, we can put in some carbs, put in some protein, and fill in that hole. But if we dig a trench, it may take a lot longer to get out of that trench, right? It's going to take a little longer to kind of fill back in those nutrients that we've pulled from our body. So sometimes that may actually be valuable, but in the case of constant day-to-day, day in, day out muscle building, you want to make sure that you're not digging a trench, you're just going to dig a bit of a hole and then replenish as soon as you can immediately after the workout in anticipation of the next workout to come. So branched chain amino acid dosage, debatable, but I would say anywhere between 4 grams for a smaller person, smaller lady even. Men somewhere between 6 and pre-workout up to 20 grams. 20 grams is again one of those things that's not really scientifically proven. It's just something that I find really helps me kind of extend my my workouts, kind of extend my energy through the workouts. We all get to that point in the workout where we hit the wall, right? If I'm taking BCAAs in higher amounts, I can usually actually negate that wall from being hit for quite a while. And believe it or not, I actually take BCAAs during the workout as well, but we're going to talk about that in a separate video. So today for pre-workout, BCAAs, I take up, depending on what I'm training, up to 20 grams. So on a day where I may be just training smaller body part like arms or shoulders, probably 10 to 12 grams. And then if I'm doing legs, it may be somewhere between 18 and 20 grams. All right, supplement number 3, creatine monohydrate. Back to the basics, right? Basics are basics for a reason. If somebody's trying to sell you on new basics, there's probably something wrong with that. So creatine monohydrate, stick with something simple, stick with something we know that works. No creatine has ever been proven to work better than creatine monohydrate. They all work equally well. Make sure that you have a good amount of water with your creatine monohydrate. It is going to help hydrate your cells. That's one of its major benefits. It's an energy source and it's going to help hydrate your cells. So I would suggest taking up to a liter to a liter and a half of water with 5 grams of creatine. So I take about 5 grams pre-workout every workout. So all year round, no cycling, no loading. 5 grams all year round, up to 10 grams a day. Sometimes I work out twice a day, and sometimes I'll even take it before I do cardio or I do high intensity cardio, because I know the goal of cardio is to get metabolic upregulation. So I find it helps my body swell, it helps my body work a little bit harder during those cardio sessions, and I can get more out of them. All right, so essential number 4 that I take is Essential Amino Magic. And the reason I particularly take this one is because it's loaded with glutamine. It's one of my favorite things to take pre-workout, because the glutamine helps to not only heal the gut, but it's also the most abundant amino acid in the body. We've heard that. So it's really prevalent in the tissues. So we want to take glutamine pre-workout. So this one, as well as being primarily comprised of glutamine, actually has a bunch of other great ingredients in there pre-workout. It's actually got some arginine in there. So arginine is a great nitric acid donator. So good thing pre-workout. It's also got some carnitine tartrate, which is a fast-acting L-carnitine. And for those of you who don't know, carnitine is actually a great energy producing supplement. So basically, what carnitine does is it acts as a shuttle from taking fat from the blood into the mitochondria to be used as fuel. So awesome, awesome thing to include in your pre-workouts. And now this 5th one, actually let's talk about this one first. This is my next 5th essential, and that's honestly just a Starbucks coffee. A lot of times I'll get an Americano or I'll get an espresso or just a coffee. I'm not a big fan of taking massive amounts of stimulants. One of the benefits I like about coffee is it's hot, so it increases your core body temperature a little bit, and just the right amount of caffeine for me. So not a ton. I'm not trying to take 600 milligrams of caffeine like some people, so that I'm wired for 8 hours. Just a little bit of caffeine so that I feel good, so that I have a good focus. And that's really it. It's not a tremendous amount. And the good thing about it is I can control it. If I take a 200 milligram pill of caffeine, it's 200 milligrams. Whereas with coffee, if I'm tired one day, I'll drink a good amount of it. If I'm not so tired, maybe I'll just have a few sips pre-workout, and that's it. So that's one of the benefits I like about coffee, or even green tea sometimes pre-workout. The final essential pre-workout is carbohydrate. Now this is conditionally essential. So Cytek's got a great VITARGO product, so amazing carbohydrate. And the benefit of VITARGO in particular as a carbohydrate is that it's high molecular weight, meaning that the more high molecular weight the substance is, the faster it's going to fall to the bottom of your stomach and more quickly absorb into the bloodstream. So what's the benefit there? It's going to get higher insulin spikes faster. So insulin spikes are really, really essential to optimizing muscle growth. And now the reason I talk about this being conditionally specific or conditionally essential is if you tend to have a little bit higher body fat or you tend to be a little insulin resistant, I don't recommend you taking carbohydrates pre-workout. Perhaps you can wait till peri-workout, during the workout, or even after the workout. So now for optimal muscle growth, if you want to increase cell swelling, increase hyperemia, which basically means the amount of nutrients going into the cell, it's a good idea to take a good amount of carbohydrate per workout. But this, like I say, for most people, and I'd say probably 70% of the population, wait till at least 30 minutes into your workout. And that's what I recommend to most of my followers, because unless you have tremendous insulin sensitivity, chances are it's going to make you pretty tired, it's going to make you sluggish, and your workout's going to be crappy. So this is why conditionally specific, I like to take it sometimes, and maybe I'll take it 2 days a week, and the other 4 days I won't take the carbs pre-workout. So it's one of those things you kind of got to know yourself, you got to know what works for you, and you got to know what you're training that day. If I know I'm doing a crazy leg workout, maybe I'll start the leg workout for the first 20 minutes with no carbohydrate, allow my neurotransmitter level to kind of drive my acetylcholine up so I get some neurological drive and really get focused. And then I'll throw the carbs in to increase the pump. Whereas if I'm training something like arms, where I don't need a tremendous amount of focus and drive and gusto, maybe I can take the carbs pre-workout because I really want to optimize the cell swelling, right? It's one of those things you got to think about, know your current settings, which is one of the things we teach at Mi40. So think about it, know yourself. As far as dosages on VITARGO, you want to be looking at least 20 grams pre or during workout, and some are all the way up to 100 grams. Sometimes I take 100 grams during the workout and then 100 grams after. So the reason there is I'm looking for a massive spike of insulin to help basically keep my body anabolic, prevent muscle breakdown, prevent tissue breakdown, and drive more nutrients into the cell. The higher we can get those insulin levels, the more nutrients we're going to drive into the cell. And we're almost looking for a super physiological insulin response. So VITARGO, again, for most people, I'm going to say shy away from it, or at least save it till peri-workout, during the workout. And for some people, if you're looking to bring up a weak body part, or if it's a smaller body part where you're trying to optimize cell swelling, it's a great thing to add to your repertoire. So that's it. All right, ladies and gents, so there you have your pre-workout essential supplements. Starting off with our essential amino matrix, essential amino acids, BCAAs, creatine, glutamine, plus some other awesome stuff in this one. And then we're going to finish off with the conditionally specific, conditionally essential carbohydrate, VITARGO. All right, and the final thing that I briefly mentioned that I throw into my pre-workout ritual is some coffee or some green tea. So one of the things I add to my coffee or green tea to make it even more effective is MCT oil, which is medium chain triglyceride, or I add in some coconut oil, which is again a great source of MCT. And the reason I do that, it's a fast-acting energy source, which is directly sent into the mitochondria for use as energy. So really, really good pre-workout, won't be stored as fat, and you can actually take it with carbohydrate, and it's not going to increase fat storage. So Starbucks and MCT is a great addition, and you get to control the amount, right? Instead of taking specific dosages that you kind of get addicted to. I like just my little Starbucks for caffeine. So there you go, the essentials of pre-workout nutrition, what I like to take and what I think you should take. Ben Pakulski, Mi40 University, posse out.